We're in Dunn Center, North Dakota for the Bakken Rocks CookFest. Vicky Steiner is here from the Association of Oil and Gas Producing Counties. How are you, Vicky?
Very well. Very well. Thank you.
Good to catch up with you guys on Energy Matters today. How's a CookFest for just chatting with folks about what's happening?
I really enjoy it. I think it's a good time for people to have some conversation and come face to face with the oil industry. And those guys work all the time. Now you finally get a chance to meet some of them and talk to them. And really great barbecue. Really great.
There's always something going on at the Association of Oil and Gas Producing Counties. I know you're hard on the Vision West ND project. Give us a little update on how things are coming.
Well, we're in our third year, and it will finish at the end of January. We're really fortunate. We have some folks from Washington, D.C. came out from HUD, and Dwayne Marsh and Naomi Friedman. They're helping us with the project, and they're here today to kind of see the tour of the Bakken and to see kind of what's going on. They've been looking at through our regional plan and helping us develop it. As you know, it came out of 19 county plans, and we also met with the tribe. And it's really been helpful to have people sit down and really talk about what their vision is as we move forward on this long-term oil play.
And I want to come back, Vicky, to you after I talk to Dwayne and Naomi a little bit about their impressions, first of all, of what they've seen here, and then maybe a little bit about what the ultimate plan is. How are you, Dwayne?
Very well, thank you.
Welcome to North Dakota.
It's been a great couple days.
This is your first trip here?
It is, in fact.
I want to know what your impressions of North Dakota were prior to actually setting foot on the ground.
Well, you know, if you're not from here, you hear the stories about the energy boom and the kind of rush and the frenzy, but you have to put a face on it. And so it's been great to be here the last couple days to see the people and that you guys are working your way through an enormous opportunity and facing some tremendous challenges. So I've been really pleased to be here and to be here with the barbecue.
Yeah, it worked out for a good day, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, some good old-fashioned neighbor-to-neighbor hospitality is kind of fun. Well, so now you're on the ground. You've toured around. Give me a little bit of what once you've actually got a chance to see it. What stays with you?
You know, the intensity of the development is really impressive, and to see the trucks moving through, to understand the scale it takes to make this whole industry move and grow again is really tremendous. But then you still feel the character of the towns that you're going through, and you see that struggle, that tension. How do we hold on to our values as we take advantage of this tremendous opportunity, something that most places around the country just don't have? And so it's really fortunate, we think, that you guys are participating in this planning process, because the whole idea was to give local communities a chance to think about their futures on their terms. And I feel like what we've seen in the last couple of days is people have banded together to do just that.
What is your day-to-day job at HUD? How does HUD, for instance, come in and help the Association of Oil and Gas Producing Counties? And I mean, honestly, these days you hear any acronym for a federal agency and you want to run, usually, you know. And obviously, you're not here to make us run, but explain what HUD's role is and what you're doing.
Well, you know, we're called HUD as Housing and Urban Development, but the truth is we're the nation's premier federal agency for community development. And so our idea here is not just the major metropolitan areas, but wherever there are communities, we need to be investing properly so people can retain their character, can think about the future, can really stay in the places they want to live. This program gives people a chance to do that, so our role is to be good listeners, to make the federal government a partner and a liaison, learn what the objectives are in the community, figure out what other federal partners could contribute to that vision.
Very interesting. I'll talk with your partner Naomi here too, who also had the pleasure of being on this tour with Housing and Urban Development on this Vision West planning process. How are you, Naomi?
Very good, thank you.
Where are you from?
I am from Washington, D.C.
Is that your little hometown?
It is actually, I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland, across from Washington, D.C., yes.
Yeah, so you literally are not only from D.C. on this particular trip as someone that works there, but also a native of the neighborhood. Yeah, interesting. And is this your first trip to North Dakota?
It is, it is.
So I got to ask you the same thing that I asked Dwayne. What were your impressions prior to getting here?
Prior to getting here, honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect. We had heard so much, and I was just kind of ready and open, wide-eyed, and ready to take in whatever I saw.
So what's different about what you saw from what you thought was coming?
Well, first of all, I would say the landscape is beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, we've seen just really, really stunning scenery, and that's been extremely impressive. I would just add to what Dwayne said, the scale of development is pretty intense. It is pretty intense to see the beautiful landscape and the oil development side by side.
What's your initial impression on how they work side by side? I mean, do you see them working? I mean, I talked to some folks this week that were out at Lake Sakakawea and they're fishing, and yet they're looking at a flare, right? So they're seeing a flare and obviously a well site, and talking about enormous beauty that in their mind while we don't want the flare there forever, really isn't much more of a footprint than a silo would be, on a farm, right? And we don't think of anything about a silo because silo needs to be there so you can put some grain in it, right? And take the crop off the field. But do you think they're coinciding well, or do you think we have work to do?
Well, I'm really proud of the Vision North Dakota team. I think they're doing really a spectacular job with the 19 counties to really help folks think about what they want their future to look like.
That's neat. Are you going to come back, Naomi?
I hope so. Yeah.
How about you, Dwayne?
I got vacation time coming soon. We'll see.
See, this is the value of getting our folks from the federal government out here because they'll want to move here, right? They'll want to take a part of the North Dakota dream. Naomi, thank you.
Thank you.
Dwayne, nice to meet you.
Likewise, thank you.
Appreciate it. Now, Vicky Steiner back with us. Tell us how you bring all this together. Obviously, you've been working on Vision West for some time, the 19 county planning process going time. You got some experts in from HUD. What's the next step?
Well, what we found is that we have 5 of the broadest and deepest concerns that develop through all these local plans and then the regional plan. And they are childcare, emergency services, housing, transportation, and water. And housing is probably the top one because we need affordable and more of it. And so we'll take that concern to state leaders and stakeholders and talk about how do we assist people with this issue.
Fascinating. How do folks find out more about the plan and all the things you're doing? I know you handed out a lot of pamphlets and brochures, but for folks listening on the air, how do they find out more about what you're doing?
We have a website, visionwestnd.com. It's a clearinghouse. We also have information about the Marcellus play and other plays across the country. It's a great place to go and just learn about shale plays, not only the Bakken, but all the plays across the country.
Appreciate all the good work you guys are doing.
Well, thank you so much for having us on.
You bet. Vicky Steiner from the North Dakota Association of Oil and Gas Producing Counties on Energy Matters.